Are we recording now?
Yes, okay, guys. Welcome to this first video, which is really the third video. You know why? You know fucking why? Because fucking what is this called? Open Broadcaster Service is shit. Is absolutely shit. Do not use it. It's better than XSplit, but it's your only other choice. So, I can't swear, but I'm so pissed off because we did two of these. Now we have to redo them both, and it's not going to be as awesome. So
We
what?
did two 15-minute
Yes.
videos.
What is this? What is this? This is character
I'm
creation for our new campaign, which we're going to be starting hopefully next week, but I don't know exactly when. Um, there's going to be three or four of these character creations because we're not sure how many players, but it's definitely going to be at least three. This is going to be a completely new rule set. It's going to be kind of like Genesis, but I'm going to let Yankel talk about that because he's going to be the DM and I'm going to be the player. I'm really excited. So, Yankel, why don't you explain for the third time now what the hell is
Nah,
going
man.
on?
We're gonna make a separate video explaining
Oh, we're going to
everything.
make a
For
separate
now,
video?
yeah, yeah. For now, let's just go through your character.
Okay, well, yeah, so really quickly, before we start, it's going to be based off of my story. Everything is going to be based off of my story. What I tell Yankel, he's going to factor into what's going to happen. So, um, okay, so let's start all the way from the beginning. My character is her name is going to be a she. Her name is Xenia. She is going to be approximately 21 years old. But there's her story is a little bit more complicated than that. She nobody knows where she was born. She was abandoned as a baby, but she was picked up by a devil or a demon. Uh, um, who took her to the gates of hell and raised her basically as her own, but he raised her to become his basically tool of assassination, and to use her solely for that purpose. But she did not want that to become her life. She wanted to go and actually see the world and live the world, and so she fled. She
She
miraculously,
fled.
yeah, she fled. Sorry, fled. Uh, she fled her captor, and she came to the world that is known now, which we're not quite sure of yet. But
Hold
regardless,
on. Your camera's really sketchy, man.
my camera's really sketchy.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
fine
really
because
blurry.
that's only for you.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Got
Um,
it.
so the thing is about this campaign is apparently we're allowed to do whatever race we want. So, well, I'm still human, but I am a shapeshifter. I've been taught by this devil that took me and raised me and trained me. So, her first shapeshifting form, as we agreed, is human, which what she is originally, and she can also shapeshift into an elf, but we have decided that it can only be only a woman shape. Um, am I right?
Yep, that's
Okay.
absolutely correct.
And her base form, while the players don't know this, and I'm not going to say this probably when we start off the campaign, her base form is scarred and very deformed, shall we say. Um,
Ugly.
yeah, ugly. It's not necessarily ugly, but scars. Nobody likes, that sort of thing.
Except for you viewers that have scars, we love your
Yeah,
scars.
nobody gives it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but like she doesn't have like a little scar. She has like a burned face, burned legs, things like that. She's not completely burned, but definitely
All
you
right.
can tell. What was there a question in that? No. All right.
No, man. Keep going.
For her weapons, she has two sai, which, if you ever seen the movie Elektra, that's where those come from. Um, which she got from her master, shall we say, or her teacher, that she carries, and that's what she uses for melee. She also has 7 throwing daggers, which she uses strictly from throwing, and she never interchanges those two things. For her armor, she has cloth armor, basic thing. She has a black cloak with a dark red inside. And once again, this is very filtered and refined because we actually already recorded this, and the primarily debate was in that 50-minute video that was without Yankel's voice. So as you can imagine, I could not put on the YouTube because of that, and I'm really mad. But I'm just going over this. What else haven't I said about her? Yeah, she's very dedicated. The 5 words, the 5 words. That's right. She's very dedicated.
Calm down, dude. Calm down. Let me take
Oh
it
man.
from
All right, go
you.
ahead. You can take it.
All right, so quick recap. Xenia is a female human who was taken by a demon, we'll assume a demon lord, trained in the ways of roguery and assassinary and all this other fun dagger wielding kind of stuff. It was there that she also, through magical manipulations, became able to change her shape and her facial features and body features, basically becoming a shapeshifter. She can shift into her form to any female human or female elf shape. But her base shape, her original form, has lots of scarring, whether it be from fire or whippings and just, things that happen in hell. Just that's what happens. um, we're modeling her after like the basic, um, after more real life assassins. Which, if you go and do a little bit of research, you'll find that a lot of the times these guys were, in order to be as stealth as possible, they never really used leather armor, kind of like how rogues in your normal Dungeons and Dragons campaigns do, because that would inhibit them too much. They would use things like cloths, that they would then tie like around really tight so that they wouldn't make any noise, so the cloth wouldn't rub against each other. In fact, I remember reading about certain assassins that did their work in the nude in order to, they were, for lack of a better word, they were black. And they did it in the nude so that there was no cloth, no anything. All they ever had was like their weapon that they were going to use to kill somebody, and that was it. And this is actually based in real life. So we did away with the leather armor, and we're using cloth tied up, wound tightly around her body. Which I guess you can have extra straps, Dimitri. That like normally you don't have it bound all like in all the way, but when you're going out to do a job, bind it so that it's tight, and then
Hmm.
you do your stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then last, let's see. I asked Dimitri to give me 5 words to not encompass the entire character, but 5 words that did represent the character. So keep in mind, these aren't everything that this character is. They're just things that she is. Not everything, but some.
Okay. So the thing is, let me just say one more thing. She uses these powers given to her by this demon, and to basically accomplish her job, or what she not necessarily enjoys, but she's really good at killing people and doing things that rogues do, for lack of a better explanation. So those 5 words were dedicated to her, dedicated, uh, explanation being to her um, work, to her assignment. She will sacrifice pretty much anything to accomplish what she has been paid for or assigned. That could potentially include her life, although that assignment could has to be pretty big, but she will pretty much sacrifice anything for the job. And as I stated in the first video, she actually, that's how she lost her virginity, for example. Um, the second word, I believe, was refined, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was refined, meaning that she carefully, no. Explain these two words again. I'm flippin' foreign. I don't.
It's okay. She's reserved and measured. She doesn't usually speak. She's not very vociferous in her opinions and stuff like that. But she's very measured. She's very careful, very calculating. Um, she thinks things through before she does them.
Yeah. She picks one good strike as opposed to 10. The fourth word was charismatic because um, she is very good at talking her way out of things, situations, or talking into a situation, or persuasion, things like that. And the fifth word, I believe you assigned to me, right? Based on what I told you.
Right. First of all, let's explain a little bit about how exactly she's charismatic. So, there's kind of two ways to be charismatic. I'm genuinely a likable person, and it's that those people are considered charismatic, and that is not what Xenia is. She's actually more of I use my charisma as a tool to get what I want. So kind of a more charismatic in a more manipulative sense.
Yes, yes.
And the last word I gave to Dimitri's character, and it was unguided. So, you know, she was raised by this demon lord. Then she escaped. She comes into the world, doesn't really know what to do, but she continues doing what she's always been doing, which is, being an assassin. That's how she's continued her life and made her way through the world. But while she is very dedicated to those missions, it seems to me like she's lacking a drive, a central goal in life, a point to be alive. And that's why I gave the last word unguided. There's nothing. She's kind of like she's kind of like River, just going wherever it takes her.
She's been trained to
And
listen. The only thing that she ever was basically decided on her own was to flee her mentor or captor, however you want to call it. And now she's never been fully in control of her life. So now she works for people, basically.
okay, so that basically wraps it up.
Yeah.
Um, there's really not much else.
We
Oh,
quickly assigned some scores.
wait, 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 wait.
You want to
One
explain?
last thing. Yeah, I'll explain it.
Yeah.
There's going to be a separate video if you haven't already seen exactly how this is going to work out, how these scores are going to translate in the game. So that's going to be in our rules talk session, video, I guess, rules talk. Um, and you should probably watch that first and then come back here so you can really understand exactly what's going on. But one last thing, what languages do you know?
Yeah, we actually did not go over that. So since
Mm-hmm.
her shapeshifting is common, obviously.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Um, Elvish, since she can shapeshift into that.
Okay.
And there isn't really a demonic language, is there? Just as hypothetical, I'm not saying I know it.
No, yeah, there's definitely a demon tongue.
Am I allowed to do that?
It makes sense. I mean, you did live there for a large portion of your life that you would know demon
Okay, great, thank
demonic.
you. Then I will have that. So three languages, I believe it's more than enough.
Right.
And we can even say my Elvish is not very good.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Your Elvish is, that's the one that you learned because you had to.
yeah,
So it's not very common.
definitely.
All right, so go ahead and put up the sheet that I gave to you so that everybody can see it again.
Okay, all right, it should be up. It is indeed up.
Okay. So we kind of already bantered and bartered through this. So we're just going to give you the raw stats. But basically, you can only put points in things where it would naturally go based off your character's backstory. So being a rogue, Xenia's not gonna be able to put 10 points into strength because that's not her thing. She's not gonna be able to put 10 points into Constitution, even if she had 10 points, which she doesn't. Same thing. She's not gonna really know how to do Earth magic, Wind magic, Fire magic. Being a rogue, she doesn't know how to use a two-handed sword with any efficiency. She maybe she knows how to use a bow, but there's a lot of things where your character doesn't know this, so I'm not going to allow the character to put points into it. The player to put points into that
Exactly.
character's stats.
And we did this. Yankel assigned me 5 points into non-damage stats and 4 points into damage stats.
So
So,
let
and
me do
then,
this real quick
yeah,
again. The non-damage stats are strength, constitution, dexterity, intellect, wisdom, and charisma. They have little to no effect on actual combat in terms of me doing damage to you. Normal D&D, you add a strength modifier to your roll, you add a wisdom modifier to the damage, and we're not doing that. That's why they're called non-damage stats. These are going to be affecting more out of combat gameplay, and in combat, they're going to mostly affect your defenses, which, when you look at the rules, you'll have a better explanation. So go ahead and explain. I mean, basically, I gave him 5 points
yeah,
to put in
I
through.
can do that. Yeah, and it was my decision to where I put it in. But however, it is moderated by the fact that I came from this world and my past, or my character's past. So I put one into intellect and wisdom, um, just because she is not stupid, nor she's smart, like super smart, but she definitely knows her fair share of knowledge. And wisdom, she throughout her work, she has learned what to expect from harsh environments and uh, what life basically brings to her. 2 points into charisma, because that was actually something I stressed in the first video, was that my if anything, my character is charismatic. And 1 point into dexterity, which was on the borderline with charisma, because she is a stealthy individual, and things like that. So after that, Yankel gave me 4 points to put into damage stats, and I put two into dagger naturally, because that is the only thing she uses. I don't know if I said that this video, but yeah, she only uses daggers. She might use a bow, like
Well,
it depends on the job. Like from a distance, yeah, she will use a bow, but for now, she definitely only prefers mostly daggers. Uh,
when we say daggers, what we're talking about are her sai.
yeah, the sai. I'm sorry, sai and daggers. But they fall into the same category, I imagine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put one into necrotic slash demonic, school of magic, and illusionary slash light magic, based on the fact that she's a shapeshifter and she came from this demonic or hellish landscape. And that is it on the stats. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's it. This list that people are seeing is likely going to be changed, expanded, made a little better. But basically, that's how it works.
Yes. And yeah, I think that's the majority of the things. I think that's it. This video is much
That is all
shorter.
she wrote.
That is much shorter than the first one, and I'm very
What's we
sorry.
got?
Like I
Uh,
said, it was not my fault. It was working before we started recording it. But the second one should be a bit better than this. But just so that you guys know a bit of a background for my character, since we're doing it for everyone. And I hope, I fully expect this to be an amazing adventure, and I can't wait to start it. So stick around, guys. If you guys don't haven't been on my channel, please check out my Morrow's videos. And if you're watching in a distant future, please check out obviously the campaign portion of this series. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the future.